Hi, everyone. My name is Amanda, and I am the moderator, and we are showcasing your psychic tarot friends. Today, we have three psychics on the panel. Our first psychic is Psychic for Lovers, known as Pastor Moses. She is a spiritual pastor. She is a psychic, tarot card reader, clairvoyant, claircognizant, intuitive, and dream interpreter. With over 30 plus years of experience, she's worked as a psychic online with keen live advice and 5-star psychic advice. Her website is www.psychicforlovers.com. She does private readings and also has a YouTube channel. Her YouTube channel is Psychic FOUR Lovers. Janet is the second psychic on our panel. With over 40 plus years of experience, she has been on over 100 plus TV shows such as David Letterman, Sally Jesse Raphael, Regis and Kelly, The Joe Franklin Show, Joy Dayhow, and multiple radio shows. She is a psychic, clairvoyant, clairsentient, aura reader, medium, picture reader, palmistry, handwriting reader, pet psychic, and healer. Her contact info is bklyngym123@gmail.com. Jinya is the third psychic on our panel today with 35 plus years of experience. She's a healer, medium, astrologist, intuitive, empathic, tarot reader, psychic, psychometry, and clairsentient. Her email is ginia1@hotmail.com. Today, we are doing general readings and paid readings. There are two options to get a paid personal reading. You can pick between these two psychics, Janet and Jinya, $5 per question for Janet and $5 per question for Jinya. You would need to pay through Zelle or Cash App before starting the reading. The second option is a paid reading. There are two options to get a paid personal reading. Janet for $5 per question, or Jinya for $5 per question, plus for a free bonus, Psychic for Lovers will answer the same question free of charge if you go to her YouTube channel to like and subscribe. Again, her YouTube channel is Psychic FOUR Lovers. Today, we will be starting off with a general reading. Pastor Moses will start off with what is going on with your finances. So you would pick a pile from 1, 2, or 3. Pastor Moses, would you mind starting off, please?
Yeah, sure. So I need somebody to pick a pile.
Okay, pile number 2. Someone pick.
Okay, so pile number 2. So we're going to look at the general energy around your finances, okay? And again, I made up my own tarot spread. So I call it the Tarot Predictor. And it's a 10-card spread, okay? So what this tells me is that the person in pile number 2 is in a situation. They're in a relationship, a serious relationship, and they're not sure what they want to do. So I feel like it affects their finances because it feels like a living together situation. They're making it feel like the person that I'm reading, or sorry, the pile that I'm reading, is showing me that they've done very foolish things with their money. They haven't They haven't contacted each other or talked to each other about their finances. So they go on and doing what they want to do, and then it causes some conflict later on. So it feels like unless y'all start be able to communicate very well with each other about your finances, I feel like it's going to cause extra stress on your relationship, and it will end your relationship. So it's very important that y'all need to communicate about your finances and meet eye to eye. Okay.
Thank you, Pastor Moses.
Yeah, I was a little tongue-tied today. I don't know why, but okay.
It's okay. So Janet is going to start off with a handwriting analysis associated with the colors green and purple. So I am going to go ahead and share my screen with the handwritings. Janet, would you mind starting off, please?
I'm sorry, I missed the question.
The question is, you are going to start with the handwriting analysis associated with the colors.
Uh-huh.
Would you mind starting off, please? I believe.
Yes. It's really something, because we're going to start off with the green and purple. And in a relationship, the way if you look at someone's handwriting, and you could tell there's a certain color associated with, I'm going to give you 4 different types of handwriting. And they're easy to see if you can memorize this. But if someone writes straight up and down, and you want to know if this person you want to be able to understand this person's way and why they do what they do for each one, this will tell you why they react a certain way. It's very predictable. So the color green, which is straight up and down, when people write straight up and down, it's the color green. So the color green is no slant. It's just straight up and down. So these are people who do not show their feelings, even if they care a lot about you. Their head rules their heart. Everything they do, they think through their head. Like if a girl says, do you love me? And he goes, of course I love you. They don't go, of course I love you. No, they don't show it. They say it very intellectually or with no emotion, but doesn't mean they don't feel it. It's just that they don't express it. They express things that their energy goes not through their heart, but it goes up through the head. When they write straight up and down, it's level-headedness. Now, then on the opposite end, the other end are the people who write very, very far forward, so far forward that you almost can't read it. And those people, their color is purple. And that purple is the color of, the purple is color of someone that is extremely emotional. They show their feelings. When they get angry, they get real angry. And that's the the way end of the spectrum. So purple means that they can, they rush emotions. They want everything, they want it now. They can't wait. You have to tell them, if you say, will you go out with me? Yes or no? And they're overly expressive. There's danger if they are provoked or angered. So if a girl says, well, I don't know, and I'm playing games, maybe I will, maybe I won't, they could get angry. If they get too angry, they could be dangerous. So the other end of the spectrum is these extremely emotional people that just can fly off the handle.
Thank you, Janet. So next, we are going into Jinya. Jinya will discuss Jupiter and Aries. Would you mind starting off, Jinya?
Yes, hi, good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm going to talk about Jupiter and Aries. I picked Jupiter and Aries because Jupiter is the planet, it's the largest planet in our solar system, and it has to do with expansion in a very good way. Okay, so Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system, and some of us are going to have a Jupiter return. Every year, Jupiter goes into a different sign. So it completes the whole 12 planets in 12 years. So 12 years ago, Jupiter was in Aries. And what that means for everyone now is Aries is the sign of the warrior. And because Jupiter is the largest planet and deals with expansion, it has a lot to do with whatever your dreams are, whatever big dreams you've been thinking about is now the time to make them come true, because Aries as a warrior gives you the gumption to go forward and make them a reality. Also, if you have Sun in Aries, because Jupiter is in Aries, that means that this is a bigger time for your expansion. So sometimes we got to be careful with weight gain. When Jupiter is in Aries and it goes into your Sun, that means expansion can be weight gain, it can be moving into a bigger house, everything that has to do with expansion, but also on a, for a personal reason, it's a year to be bold. It's a year to put your best foot forward. This is a good time. It's an impulsive year. It's an uplifting transit. It's light, it's easy, it's energy. It's going to be on a personal level. On a broader scope, we have to be careful because Aries is the warrior. So people, there might be more violence. The war, might continue, but so we have to watch that. But also this year, we're going to be fighting for freedom of speech. All these things on a broader scale are going to be very important to us. Let me see. So that's basically what Jupiter in Aries has to do with.
Okay.
And,
Virginia,
yeah.
I, believe it or not, I was born on Thursday, which represents Jupiter and the energy of the days. You know that, right? So,
yes.
And then there was another thing with Jupiter, because Jupiter's a lot with me. I'm trying to figure out.
Do you know where your Jupiter is? What do you have?
I think Jupiter's in Capricorn.
For you, okay, all right. That's interesting. So when the time with Jupiter and Capricorn means a lot of, even though it's expansion, you still are more disciplined. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so your Jupiter, it's not comfortable in Capricorn because Capricorn represents discipline and, everything getting done the right way. So you're good at organizing groups and things like that.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I think that's kind of true. Thanks a lot. I appreciate that. That helps a lot.
Thank you, Virginia. So
You're
next,
welcome.
we're going into our topic for today's show on why psychics don't tell time. Pastor Moses, would you mind starting off, please?
Okay. So why psychics do not tell time is because, like myself, and I think a lot of good psychics, especially the ones on this panel right now, we read from the other side. We read from spirit and the other side. So on the other side, there's no time. We create time here because we get older, because we want things to happen in a certain form or a certain way. So we create time here. But on the other side, they don't age. Things doesn't, like for instance, the time we're here on the other side, it can be within, 60 years, 80 years is a matter of a couple of minutes on the other side. Where here it's years and a lot of years. So we don't do time because the other side, again, there's no time on that side. So I read from that side. So everything is made up on this side in terms of time. So that's the main reason why I feel we don't read time. We don't do time.
Thank you, Pastor Moses. Janet, would you mind letting everyone know why psychics don't tell time?
It's not like we don't want to. It's just that you get images and flashes. Well, I do. And the flashes, the only way I could tell if someone says, is this going to happen then, or when is it going to happen? All of a sudden I might see snow or I might see flowers. And that's the only way I could say, okay, it looks like spring, it looks like summer, it looks like, the seasons, but I got to see something in the background of an instant flash that I will get. But a lot of people come to second and say, well, when will so-and-so die? When will they die? Well, you can only know the order of what might lead to it, but you're not going to know how long it takes them to achieve that order. Sometimes I think something is going to happen right away, and it might not happen for a year or two. And sometimes I think it's going to happen in a long time, and it happens like within the week. You can't tell. You just get the order of events. And I have to really look real fast from the images sent to me that will tell the background. And from the background, when I look in the background, you could see from the background a general idea of what the weather is or about if the buildings are old or new or where they are. So it's just, you get your decisions from pictures, but not, you can do time. Even animals don't know time. They know when they're hungry from their inner circle, when to wake up, and they know all that, but they don't know time. They don't know that they might have waited 3 or 4 hours for you. And they just think waiting is waiting. They don't know it. They can't clock it. And animals are fascinating for time, and they don't. And so you can't, it's just, even like, look at it this way. I can get a phone call from England now, and here I am in Brooklyn, New York. And guess what? I get the phone call in 2 seconds. Is there time in between that? How fast that is. The universe is so fast that we go slow. We go, okay, 9 o'clock, get up at work, or go to work. We have a schedule of time so we can coordinate everybody. But if you're in a place where there's nobody coordinating you or no watches, you're not going to really know time unless you go by the weather or the night and day. But it's still not. We created time. Humans created time. It's different in the universe.
Thank you, Janet. Virginia, would you mind letting everyone know why psychics do not tell time?
Yeah, I totally agree with the other two ladies. It's the same premise that I feel, because time was created by man to keep a schedule, like Janet said, and that's why I like astrology, because sometimes we'll get numbers, like people will ask us, and we might get numbers, but then again, we don't know if that number is days, weeks, months, years. There's no definitive answer with time. Like, because it's a man-made, it's not, it's not natural, it's man-made, and we live by the clock, which is also not natural for us. But like Janet said, to keep your schedule. But astrology, on the other hand, deals with numbers. It's very numerical. It's all about numbers and degrees. So sometimes if you need to know a specific time to do something, astrology could help you in that respect, because it's about the time you were born, the day, the exact minutes. So that deals more with time.
Okay, thank you, Virginia. I appreciate that. So next we're going into our celebrity tidbit. We are going to be speaking about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. They've been married for quite some time, and they are both in hot water right now due to their relationship. We're going to start off with Pastor Moses. So Pastor Moses, the first question for you is, did Amber Heard really love Johnny Depp?
Yes, and they're in court right now, so they're fighting. I don't know too much about it at all, but I know they're in court and they're fighting each other. And I think Virginia could just tell a little teeny bit about the court case. So Virginia, would you like to fill us in really quickly about the court case, so when I ask the question, they'll know, everybody knows, because I really don't know that much.
Yes, the court case that's going on right now is that Johnny Depp is the plaintiff. He is suing Amber Heard for $50 million for defamation of character. It has nothing to do with, abuse. It's just about her defaming his character and him losing his career. And she is countersuing him for $100 million. And we're waiting to see. This is a jury. This is not the judge who's going to decide. This is a 7-people jury who will decide whether or not she has defamed his character and why he's lost his career.
Thank you very much. Very much. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry, Amanda, can you tell me again the question?
Yes. So the first question for you is, did Amber Heard really love Johnny Depp?
Okay, let's check this out. They tell me that no, I don't think she really loved him. I really think that she was, I think that he was extremely attracted to her. She liked him. She liked him enough that she feels like he would be somebody that she can spend, her life with, possibly. I don't know if she's looking at long term, but she was thinking that this is somebody she can marry. I feel like she was looking for opportunity. I feel like she was looking for as much money as she can steal and take advantage. It was almost like I feel as stealing energy from her, and she would be stealing and cheating and all kinds of things. Is how the energy feels, because her intentions for being with him was not authentic. It was not from the heart. I feel like there was a lot of fighting, because I feel like she had her own issues within herself, that I feel like she had self-esteem issues. I feel like she had a lot of issues that she hasn't taken care of, even from her childhood. And I feel like because of that, I feel like she was not a really good partner, especially for him, because he had his own stuff going on too, is what it feels like. So I feel like her intention was, she was an opportunist and trying to get as much as she can, without the relationship falling apart before she get whatever she want out of it. Now, and I feel like there's a sense of betrayal. I feel like he betrayed her, she betrayed him. I can feel that betrayal. And I feel like this relationship is over. I don't know if it's about a divorce or whatever, but I know it feels like it's pretty much over. So the answer is no, I don't think she loved him.
That's interesting. Thank you for that, Pastor Moses.
You're welcome.
Janet, would you also be able to go in the question of, did Amber Heard really love?
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I think I have to do Johnny now too. I do two, right? And then she does.
I apologize. So did Johnny Depp really love Amber Heard?
Okay, let me check. Okay. So what I feel he did love her. I'm not feeling that in depth, deep, like soulmate, soul connection. I should say like a person that you feel like this is the deep, big love, the big love of your life. I don't feel that energy, but I do think that he did love her. And I feel like he felt like she was somebody that understood him. He can go and do things and go places or do his job and not be at home. She understood these type of, this part of his career, that he won't be there all the time, or he had to always be on the go. And then he was really wanting somebody that he could take care of and be generous with and do things with. So I feel like he really cared about her. And I feel like he just wanted somebody to be patient with him. He needed somebody patient. He needed somebody that understood him. And he felt like she did. And it feels like he realized later on that, and actually he realized this kind of early in the relationship, that she wasn't what he thought she was, but yet he still had these caring feelings. So he moved forward with this, hoping that it will last forever.
That's interesting. Thank you for sharing that, Pastor Moses.
You're welcome.
So this question is for Janet. Did Amber Heard really love Johnny Depp?
Amber Heard has no love in her eyes for anyone. She is a passive-aggressive energy, usually coming from abuse or bad messages when you're younger and you're not trained to be authentic. So what they do is, she was thrilled that Johnny was paying attention to her, because they're trained. Wear your makeup perfect, act perfect. If he says, I play golf, you say, oh, I like golf too. Or if they say anything they want, oh, yes, I agree. And they're totally phony. A little bit of reality, but really the whole passive aggressive is just to manipulate the person so that they will love you, and you offer them that you always try to look perfect, that you're a big star, you're this, you're that. But she has all the women of America that are decent, loving women that have real love know she's a fake. And then he really wanted her to love him because he thought, maybe this is someone I could trust. She looks like she's composed. She has takes care of herself, and I could be proud to be with her. but she offered him nothing in the future as far as her caring about him and helping him. And it's all about, well, now since I'm this perfect girl that I'm trying to convince you I am, you have to do for me. And if you don't do for me, I'll get even.
Ooh.
Smart women know this.
Thank you for that, Janet. So my next question for you is, did Johnny Depp really love Amber Heard?
No, he didn't love her, but he thought she was the quality of girl he should be around. He didn't know that the difference between authentic love and passive aggressive people, that a lot of men, most rich men get passive aggressives because the average girl ain't gonna be able to wear high heels all day long. And the average girl is not going to be a movie star and have perfect body and, have that image. And so rich men want to have an image that they can have a perfect girl. But he thought, well, she deserved to be around him because he doesn't want someone that is not well groomed and well mannered. She was all that, but she was not authentic.
That's very interesting to hear. Thank you, Janet. Yeah. So Virginia, this question's for you. Did Amber Heard really love Johnny Depp?
I feel the way the other two ladies feel. I feel like she saw him as a stepping stone to her career. She was very ambitious. And she knew, she was very smart and extremely manipulative in knowing that Johnny was a lot older than her, and she could manipulate and wrap him around her finger because, let's face it, he's in his midlife crisis, and it was kind of like kicking a dog when they were down. And this is the real feeling I get from it every time I look at her. And she just used that to her advantage, his vulnerability. And I don't think she loved him. She pretended to love him. Maybe she thought she loved him, but And he supported all her friends and family. And if you're a good wife, like Janet was saying, you don't let somebody manipulate your husband like that. She just allowed everybody to manipulate him and kick him down. And, he's an intelligent man. He put up with it for some time. And when he saw that her ambitions were way stronger than her love for him, that's when he knew that this was over.
Thank you, Virginia. So my next question for you is, did Johnny Depp really love Amber Heard?
I think he said that the first time he fell in love with her was when he cast her for the movie Rum Diary. In the shower scene, he said that's when he fell madly in love with her. And again, I think that because she was younger and he going through his at his age, he thought it was love, but no. I just think it was just infatuation, a whirlwind. They were smitten with each other, but no, I don't think so. I think it just benefited both their careers for the public eye to see. He's an older man with a younger woman. She's a beautiful woman with a very powerful man because they said he was the highest paid man in the world in show business. So that was that's what they were in love with. That's how, but not with each other, no.
Thank you, Virginia. So we are going to be going back into our general readings. Pastor Moses will start off with pick a pile for what is going on with your finances. Pastor Moses, would you mind starting off, please?
Yeah, sure. I need someone to pick a pile. We have 1 and 3. Virginia, you want to pick a pile, and then somebody else want to pick one, Janet?
I'll pick 1.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so pile number 1, it talks about finances. It talks about that finances is not going as great as you would like. It's stable, but it's not not abundance. So it feels like it's you really don't have to worry about loss, but it doesn't feel like a lot of money's coming in as much as you would like. I feel like the finances, what they're showing about the finances, that the female, she's pretty much doing it's a female energy. She's pretty much doing everything herself. You know, she's independent and she's doing a lot herself. You know, I feel like she's not really happy about this. She would prefer to have a relationship where a man can come in and he will, you know, make things easier and help her. But there's trust issues when it comes to men. Being able to just trust them to do what they say they're going to do, to continue being there and supporting them. So I feel like there's trust issues that led that. Now, and I feel like this female energy, I feel like as time go on, there is someone coming, believe it or not, even though they talk about finance, there's a relationship coming. And in this relationship, I feel like there's going to be happiness, some financial stability. And I feel like this is something that they've been waiting for a while. So I feel like this, even though right now things are, you know, stable and steady, it feels like things will get better as time go on, financially, emotionally, and in relationship wise. Okay,
That sounds great.
Yeah. Oh,
Thank you, Pastor Moses. So next we're going to move into Janet with the handwriting analysis associated with the colors. So we are going to work on blue. I will go ahead and share my screen. Okay.
Okay, so the blue writing is like a normal script. It's a little far forward, but it's neat. It looks very round. There's usually a lot of letters that are very round in it, not pointy, but more round. And those are the blue color. And the blue color is always, it's like a slight forward in round one. And it means that those blues, the blue people feel love. They want real care from a mate and will give it back. And they show their emotions, but they're not out of control like the purple. And they're not very rigid and from like the greens, because the greens can't show. They just intellectualize everything. And the blues are more natural, easygoing, more loving, or more depressed if they're not loved. So they're more authentic in their emotions and show it in their handwriting. And then you have the one that is when people write with all kinds of wiggly lines and fancy designs and all kinds of little things they make up in their mind. That's the yellow. And the yellow handwriting, it could be straight, it could be any old way, because they just do it whatever they create. And those are creative people, and they kind of live a life of fantasy ideas. They're up and down with their emotions. They need admirers and praise, and they don't want to be around critical people. You must like them for themselves as is, especially like a lot of very overweight people will write in this fantasy way or have fantasies because they'll picture themselves one way. And it makes everything fun, and it takes you out of depression, unless you're the type to get scared and imagine all kinds of weirdo things. There's a whole world for the weirdo stuff, but there's a whole world of people could create wonderful fantasies, and they're your best designers and your creative people. But a yellow person that has all these things cannot be with a green person. They might be attracted initially, but the green usually would like the yellow because they'll make their life real interesting with fantasies and everything like that. But the green people are the first to criticize if you do anything wrong, like, oh, she left your shoes by the couch, it's not neat. And the yellow person is like, who cares? I got things all over the place because I don't care. I got no time. I want to run and have fun, and I do fun things. And so the greens are more conservative, and the yellows are more into the magical world and the psychic world. Greens say, I want proof of a ghost. I want to be able to see everything. But the yellows say, oh, I could see them right away. And so that when your handwriting is like a little bit creative and unique, not all creative people can communicate with spirit or see ghosts or anything like that. They could still be practical, but the ones who are creative are the best ones to see anything because their mind is open. The green person, it will want facts to everything, and the blue person will just be able to. They see people they love. They can see people they love because love is the most important thing in their life. So that's how you could tell.
Thank you, Janet. And next we are going with Virginia, and she will be speaking about Mercury in retrograde. Would you mind starting off with that, Virginia?
Yes, I love Mercury in retrograde. I always talk about it. I tell my friends about it all the time. And then they go, is there a Mercury retrograde? My car won't start. And I start laughing because now they become familiar with it. So Mercury right now is in retrograde, and it happens 3 times a year for 3 weeks. This one is in Gemini. It started May 3rd and it ends on June 3rd. So after June 3rd, what retrograde means is when they say a planet is in retrograde, it means that it appears to be going counterclockwise because all the planets spin clockwise. So when a planet goes retrograde, it's appearing to be going counterclockwise, and that means it's going backwards. So the best thing to do during Mercury has to do with communication. Mercury rules Geminis. Gemini is mental communication. A lot of Geminis talk a lot. They verbalize, they communicate. It has to do with transportation, your car and things like that. So so what that means is if you sign a contract, a new one, anything new, because the planet is going reverse, it means you're going to have to redo it again because it was new. You just started it. So that's why they tell you, don't sign new contracts in a Mercury retrograde. Don't begin anything new. And this happened to me many times because I had no choice on the timing. I couldn't change it. Every time I did something like sign a house, I had to do everything over again, or do this. Oh my God. Because sometimes we can't control when we have to sign these contracts. But what the good thing about Mercury retrograde is that it's good to get back to people from the past. You will, when you're in a Mercury retrograde, you'll find out that you run into people from your past, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Or you could sign old contracts. You could redo an old contract under a Mercury retrograde and connect with old friends, or old boyfriends or girlfriends will come back into your life. It's very interesting. And I always call my friends and see if anything happened. Did anybody get in touch with you? Or if you want to get in touch with someone from your past, that's the best time to do it. Now, when the planet starts to go in forward, you have to wait a while. Even though the Mercury retrograde is over June 3rd, the astrologers always say wait a few more days because it takes time to get in its regular orbit again. So so you have to watch. Right now, the retrograde is in Gemini. When it comes forward, it's going to be in 26 degrees of Taurus. So, and right now things will be slowing down. Make sure your car is working properly and things like that. And a lot of delays. You have to have patience during those times of Mercury retrograde because it's a lot of delays. All right.
Thank you for that, Virginia.
You're welcome.
Just a reminder, we are doing general readings and paid readings. There are 2 options to get a paid personal reading. You can pick between these 2 psychics, Janet and Virginia, $5 per question for Janet and $5 per question for Virginia. You would need to pay through Cash App or Zelle before starting the reading. The second option is a paid reading. There are 2 options to get a paid personal reading. Janet for $5 per question, or Virginia for $5 per question. Plus, for a free bonus, Psychic for Lovers will answer the same question free of charge if you go to her YouTube channel to like and subscribe. Her YouTube channel is Psychicforlovers. So we're going to move into the topic of why psychics don't tell time. Pastor Moses, would you mind starting, please?
Sure. Another reason why I believe psychics don't tell time, and why I specifically don't tell time, is because sometimes it's not the right time. I know that sounds crazy, but think about it. Sometimes, it might not be the right time for a person to know something. Sometimes they're calling me and they might say, well, lady will call me and say, is my boyfriend or husband cheating, right? And sometimes spirit don't give me that answer right away, because they might not feel they can handle it, because the universe, your higher source don't give you more than you can handle, so they might not be prepared for that right now. They might go off the deep end or shoot everybody in the house. You know what I mean? They're not ready. So sometimes spirit doesn't say, they don't give us that specific information at that time. Or because maybe they're not prepared, they're not ready for it, they're not ready to hear it. So I think time, and sometimes you need to be patient. You know what I mean? You need to wait and allow things, that the universe to take care of what they need to take care. And they have your best interest in heart always. So that's one of the reasons why psychics don't tell time.
Thank you, Pastor Moses. So, Janet, would you mind going into why psychics don't tell time?
Well, there are things we can do with time. And I remember a reading of a woman who was going to take a job, and she had only a week to decide. And one job would give her a lot of money, but it would be harder work. And she was already stressed. And the other job she really liked, but it wasn't enough money for her. So I'm looking in the reading, and I'm looking at flashes, and all of a sudden I'm thinking, well, you got 1 week to make your decision. And I think something's going to happen. I think because of the stress you're under, something bad is going to happen, because you're going to take on this job with extra stress. All of a sudden, when I closed my eyes, I saw an accident. I saw a 5 o'clock at night. I got 5 o'clock at night because I knew the color of the sky. And I also got, you're going to be under a viaduct, and it's raining lightly, and it was a little dark. So when it was a little dark, I knew it was, when time was getting darker. And I said, but you got a week, and it'll still get even darker that week. So from that, I could tell. And I said, look, you're gonna be driving when you're under the viaduct, it'll be darker even than outside, and there's a car coming, and the car is turquoise, and that car is going to hit you because you're so tired you didn't turn fast enough. And so when this happens, and it has to happen within the week, because you already said you got to make your decision in 1 week. That's how I got time. And so then she called me back, and she said, I took that job the other day, and the hard job, and I really don't really like it, but I was going to stay. But then I had the accident, like you said, right after work, under the viaduct, and lo and behold, a turquoise car came by, and you told me to turn my car a different way. I said, when you see a turquoise car, if you see one, turn your wheel the other way, like you normally wouldn't do. And she said she missed the car by 5 inches. And then she said, you know what, I'm going to go back, and I'm going to take that other job. But that's how I got some time. Sometimes you get time by that kind of action. But normally to say, if I say to somebody, I could just see it might be a different season. I get a feeling of when it is, but it's only a feeling. And I'll tell them, I cannot do time. That will be my only mistake in time. It will happen in the order I tell you, but it will not happen. It could be a year from now, or it could be not. But if you're under a deadline, or you have a time thing, that I could link it to that a little bit. But then there are people who say to me, like my grandfather is dying, and the priest is coming tomorrow. He won't make it through the night, or tomorrow morning they said he got another day, and is he going to die? And then we have a healing group at 8 o'clock at night, and we are all these people that care about other people. And then once they know the name of the person, they do a healing at 8 o'clock at night. And so that healing, they don't even have to know the person, they just know the name and send healing energy. That the next day, they say I said, no, I have the healing group. My healing group told, we all felt that he's not going to die. They said, but, and well, no, he's not going to die. That's it. But the priest is coming. Well, so what? We did the healing, came back. Psychics can do healing and get back answers to prepare the psychic to say, yes, he'll die, or no, he won't. This is not his time. And he did not die. He lived another couple of years. He did not die.
Thank you, Janet.
That was how we got time like that. But
Janet,
yeah.
you're supposed to ask the question why they don't tell time, not why you do tell time. Why psychics don't tell time.
Because normally they're going to try to make you think, they're going to go, oh, but the priest is coming, everything, and you go, oh, well, yeah, I know they're going to die, but within a couple of years, but you might know that, you don't know exactly when. But what I'm saying is, you can also have events where you could not, you can tell a little bit about time, but normally you cannot tell time, because the people are going to try to persuade you or convince you and that they're right. But you have to hold your ground and say, no, they're not going to die if they're not. And so you don't want to do time. I tell them, don't ask me time. I'll just, if you can, don't ask time. We can't do it. The atmosphere, if you study psychics, there's no time in the universe. Go into a psychic book. They'll tell you right away. There's no time.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Janet. So the next question is for Virginia. Virginia, would you mind answering why psychics don't tell time?
Psychics don't tell time because we're not God. And it's even if we do get a particular time, it's not fair to tell that to someone who's coming to you for a reading, because you feel like it's, you can't be matter of fact about a time, especially like what Janet and Pastor Moses was saying, is that if someone is dying, I get that a lot when someone is sick and they say, do you know when they're going to die? And I say, well, I feel like it's going to happen soon, but I never am direct with time. It's really not fair to the person you're reading. You can't be specific with time. It's not fair. I feel that's why it's kind of you don't want to be so matter of fact, like because people rely on everything you say, they hold on to everything you're saying. And I don't like to give time, especially about death, because it's not fair. One time someone asked me, is my father-in-law going to die? When? I was feeling it, but I didn't want to say. And then when I went to the funeral, they said, I asked you when he was going to die. And I was like mortified. Like, I just can't come out with a particular time of when this person is going to die. It's not right.
Completely understood. Thank you so much, Virginia.
You're welcome.
And then we're going into the celebrity tidbit. Virginia, would you mind briefly explaining about Johnny Depp's severed finger, please?
So there's an issue going on about his finger. He's saying that Amber threw a wine bottle at him and severed his finger, the top of his finger off. And she's insisting that he did it himself. So they're trying to find proof as to, did he do it or did she do it? So that's a big question right now in court, because it has to do with, they're trying to show that she was the abusive one and he was the recipient of her abuse. And so they're trying to prove this, because she keeps throwing it on him and saying he did it. And he says that she did it. So that's a big question right now that they really don't have any exact evidence on, supporting evidence.
Thank you so much, Virginia. So our next question we're going into is, who severed his finger? Did he do it or did she do it? Pastor Moses, would you mind answering that, please?
Okay, so because I read individually one by one, so I'm going to ask, I'm gonna ask that he sever his finger first. To Johnny. Yeah. Interesting. Before I tell you that answer, I need to look at her real quick. Hold on one second.
Oh, this is so interesting, Pastor Moses.
Oh my God. Okay, so here's what I feel. Okay, this is, different. I normally don't do both at the same time, but because I got conflicted things, I feel like they had a disagreement. Something happened, right? It feels like there was something like a fight or disagreement and something happened. And I think there was a knife or something involved. And I feel like, I want to be honest with you, I think it's an accident. And it feels like the accident came from, it's almost like I feel like there was a little struggle. And I'm leaning towards her doing it, but not intentionally. So this is how I feel, because I really feel like it's both their fault in a way, but I feel like it was an accident. And she might have been holding a knife at that time or whatever it is that caused that. So that's how it feels. They have a very dysfunctional relationship.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's almost like she was about to leave. I can feel stress with her leaving. You know what I mean? There's a back and forth going on. And then I feel like that's what happened. But that's what I get.
Thank you for that, Pastor Moses. So this question is for Janet, who severed his finger. Did he do it or did she do it?
Well, he would never try to do it to himself and blame her. He's never really wanted to have to lie. It's her need for power. No one's believing her. A lot of women that are smart go, the guy's moody, he's this and that, but why didn't you stand by him? Why you always keep acting like you got to have all the power and he's got to do what you say? And she was very mean to him all the time. And so he would never make up, she did this and he did that. I mean, she did this to me and did that to me, and make it up. He wouldn't do that. He would just, say stupid things if he was drunk or doing bad things that guys do. But he doesn't have her meanness. That's mean, and he didn't do it. She was, crazy around him, and she wanted power, and she wants to get even with him, and she got so provoked that he, I don't know the exact details of what happened, but I know that she didn't really do it on purpose, but she did it out of anger, which means that she didn't realize what she was doing, but she did it.
Thank you, Janet. So this next question is for Virginia, who severed his finger. Did he do it or did she do it?
So that's very interesting what the two of you said, because from what I heard, that he said when they rushed him to the hospital, he denied her doing it. He just said it was an accident. But for the court case, he wouldn't say that it was her. And the surgeon said, this didn't happen. This was severed. Who severed your finger? He was protecting her. So I agree with the both of you. I feel that it was an accident, but I definitely think it was because she threw the wine bottle at him and it broke and severed his finger. Because he said that he plays the guitar and he loves to play the guitar and he would never sever a finger off. So I definitely think I agree with both of you that it was an accident, but that she did it out of anger. And he did try to protect her at the hospital when they asked him what happened, because and I also feel that he was trying to keep all of their personal life private. And when she went out into the public and exposed it, I think that really pissed him off, because he never had his children in the public eye. So I agree. I think she did it, and he was trying to protect her, to keep everything quiet and undercover.
Well, thank you for that, because I didn't know it was a wine glass. Like I said, I don't follow them. But
no, it was a wine bottle. Yeah, it was a wine bottle, and it cracked. And yeah.
I didn't know if it was a knife or whatever, but it felt like something sharp. So they were struggling with it. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Virginia. So the next question is, will he get his role back with the Pirates of Caribbean, and will he take it? Pastor Moses, would you mind starting that off, please?
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought we were going to do both of them at one time. Okay. Okay. Will he get his role back? Okay, with the, what is the name of the place?
I think it's Disney that does Pirate of Caribbean.
Pirate Caribbean. Will he get his role back, and will he take it? Will they offer him his role back? Okay, let me see. I think they will offer it. If they haven't yet, it feels like they will. They want him back because he makes a lot of money for them. Makes a lot of money. So I feel like they will. If they haven't, they will offer him, and they'll offer him more money.
Wow.
Because of the court case and how he feels toward this whole thing, that people are not believing him all the time. You know, they're questioning him sometimes. Not everybody, but I think it has something to do with this, the people that he was working with. I feel like his guards are up. You know, he feels insulted in a way that they question him. Will he take it? Here's what I feel. I can't really answer that yet, because they're telling me that right now he has not closed his mind to it completely. It's like he's thinking like maybe he will. It depends. Maybe they offer him enough money, apology. There's things that they have to do in order for him to take it. They really have to almost, beg him, grovel for him, because he's going to be holding out for a while, because he feels like they didn't have his back initially. So I can't really answer that. I'm not sure about that. Again, if they give him what he wants, he will take it.
Wow, thank you, Pastor Moses. Janet, will he get his role back with the Pirate of Caribbean, and will he take it?
He will get his role back because he that's what he does. And the women, a lot of women who know that a lot of men always act his behavior he acted and whatever came out. Men are always like that. They're used to that. Women, they know that men act like that. But what they do know is that she was just out and out mean and cruel to him, and he's not going to let her meanness and her cruelty and her "I'll get even with him" ruin his career. And since they want him back, he's very happy about that. And then he's going to maybe delay a little bit just to change his aura a little and get reset himself, and then he'll go back, and the movie will be a big success because he'll be back himself without a woman trying to hurt him. And she will she'll probably get a little settlement, and she'll in an agreement to stop trying to hurt him and knock him down all the time and interfere with publicity, and so then she'll have a party with all her fake friends and act like she's okay, but she'll go downhill as fast as anybody could go. Can't fool women.
Thank you, Janet. So the same question for Virginia. Will he get his role back with the Pirates of Caribbean, and will he take it?
I have to agree with the two ladies. Yeah, I think that the people that he works with, the cast, the feeling I'm getting is that the cast that he works with that does the Pirates of the Caribbean really miss him a lot. And I feel like they're going to try and talk him into coming back also, because there's a lot of love out there from his cast. So maybe he doesn't want to, but I think the cast that he works with is going to persuade him to come back and maybe, you know, because they miss him a lot. And I think that would be part of his decision of going back.
Thank you, Virginia.
You're welcome.
So next, we are going back into our general readings. Pastor Moses, would you mind starting off with what is going on with finances?
Right. Okay, and the last pile is number 3. So I'm going to just spread that.
Yes.
Okay. So what this tells me is that pile number 3 says your financial situation is not good at all. I feel like you're struggling and it's pretty hard right now. It says your financial situation is not good at all. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. I feel like they're struggling and it's really hard right now. So it feels like there has been some changes in the past, some conflict. Maybe I lost a job or whatever the situation is. There's some changes and some conflict that caused your financial situation to change. And I feel like this feels like the person is doing it on their own as well, and they're not really sure what's their next move. But I do feel like they're working towards increasing their finances. They're thinking about either trying to learn a new trade, go to school about something. I can feel thinking about doing something differently. And I feel like that's going to be a good sacrifice if they actually, you know, do some training or go to school, because what it shows me is that they will get a job, a decent job. So it will change as time goes on, but right now the finances situation is not so great.
Thank you, Pastor Moses. So next, Janet is going into handwriting analysis associated with the color yellow. So I will go ahead and share my screen.
The yellow is the people who write very high and very creative and very unusual. Now, a lot of people who are creative may also be, you know, maybe autistic or have some mental problems and everything, because they don't like to fit in with society, because society gives rules. And they're the opposite of the green people who love rules. They feel that if they follow rules, they're going to be a good citizen, a good partner, and you can't criticize them because they follow all the rules. So, but the yellow handwriting people, they go, well, we're going to break all the rules, and we're just too creative. We're born artistic. We're born with our new ideas. We're you know, we don't have a need to be right all the time. The problem with the green aura people is that in their handwriting, it's in their aura, that their need to be right makes you being criticized. If someone says, oh, but you didn't make the right color on that person's eyes. I said, yeah, that's my creativeness. No, it doesn't look right to me. So they can't be together. So and creative people can just do everything. You could take any creative person and say there's a problem and they'll find a solution. And that's how society started, when communities got together as communities and they had to build their homes. They got new land. It's when the communities got together and the people that said, okay, we have to have so many buildings, a police department, this and that. And then the creative people said, okay, now we're going to do that, but we're going to put flowers here and we're going to put a garden there and a park. So, and they would add all the creative things, and they contribute to, oh, and we'll make a bakery where you can make our own bread, and yes, we'll have a wheat farm. Well, let's make a bakery too. The creative people will say, and let's not just make a bakery from boring old bread. Let's make bagels with the icing on top, whatever it is. They would create like a new machinery to make it faster. The creative people made life easier, while the people with the green in their handwriting and their rules would make things right. Stronger buildings, the right wiring. They won't cut corners. They won't look for they won't put a creative person say, well, why don't you just have batteries? Well, a battery will explode. Oh, it's a good thing you're always right, because I didn't know a battery will explode. So I guess we'll have to think of something else more creative. And they get along with each other, but they usually won't marry each other because they are so different and they don't understand each other. If they went to a psychic or they learned about handwriting, they could explain why they're different, and it's not bad. There's no bad color other than the one where they get angry and they get violent, and that's a good warning. But normally, everybody that has a different idea and different ways of doing things is more that when they all come together and they accept each other without having to believe them, but just allow them to do their thing, then you get a really good community group.
Thank you very much, Janet, because we're running out of time, so we're going to have to move on, babe.
I'm done.
Thank you, Janet. So the next question is for Virginia. How to look for your partner through your rising sign?
Okay, so you will have to know what time you were born, and your rising sign indicates the time you were born when you do your chart. And so you put in your time you were born, and then your rising sign will come up. So if your rising sign, so whatever your rising sign is in the astrology, there's an opposite. So generally that will be the person you will marry. It's not your sun sign, it's your rising sign. So let's say you have right now.
Can I do my example?
Yes.
Can I do my example?
Yes,
so I'm
yes.
born, the time I'm born is 8:49 p.m. and my sign is Gemini. I think my rising sign should be Sagittarius.
Oh, wow. So that's very interesting, because Sag is the opposite of Gemini. So you would be with another Gemini, or if you're, whatever is in your 7th house, so you have Sag in the 7th. So that's very interesting. So you could be with another Gemini, because Sag would, yes, Gemini is in your 7th house also. Do you have a lot of Gemini friends? I have a Gemini rising. That's interesting, because I'm a Gemini rising and we connected.
Wow.
So that hits your 7th house. So right now, because Jupiter is in Aries, Libra, that's Libra's 7th house. Aries is opposite Libra. So for Libras right now is a great time to find someone who will be a long-lasting relationship, because Jupiter's in Aries and it's hitting their 7th house. So if you have a Libra rising, this is a great time to meet somebody, because it's hitting your 7th house. Whatever in your chart on the wheel, whatever in your 7th house is generally the person you marry.
So whatever sign in your 7th house is generally the person you marry. Thank you for that.
My husband was a Sag, and all my very close friends are Sages, or in those degrees, sometimes Scorpio too, because if it's early degrees, it's close to Scorpio, or Scorpio has late degrees, it goes into Sag. So I always found over the years that those were my closest friends.
Okay, great. Okay, yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
Thank you. So next we will be going back into why psychics do not tell time.
Okay, we're gonna make this really short, so because we really only got a few more minutes and we got to finish the question. So basically, I feel like psychics don't tell time because it's more like people want things to happen when they want to happen, and things don't always happen according to the way they want to happen, and they have to understand that there's usually a bigger picture. There's a higher reason for you not to do something at a specific time. So I think spirit doesn't bring us that time, because on the other side there's no time, but they don't bring it to us to give it to them, because as soon as it don't happen, they're a little disappointed, or you know what I mean, or they're so telling a time, it puts a person in a box. Do you understand? where they're not open. They put them in a box, and spirit really doesn't want anyone to be in a box. You have to be open to all possibilities, because the universe is about growing and learning.
Thank you, Pastor Moses. Janet, would you mind going in on why psychics don't tell time?
Mostly because it's just so irrelevant. It's just, you can't really see the exact time. I don't know anyone. I think that some of the fake psychics give time, but nobody I know that's real can do it. I just think it's the whole way the universe is set is you know, it's like, did you ever see the blood in your body? If you ever see the blood under your microscope, it goes a jillion miles an hour blood. Now, how do you, let's say a blood sample says, how can I do something if it's going so fast? It's also relevant to how other things are going. They're like a light beam coming through can go so fast, and you can't put a time on that. Everything goes at a different time, a different wavelength, a different energy, a different dimension.
I like that.
All the same.
That was great. I think that explained that very well. I like that a lot. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Janet. So, Virginia, would you mind going into again why psychics don't tell time?
Well, mostly psychics get images and feelings, and it's hard to get a feeling for a time. You don't feel 100% on it. And again, it's a man-made, it's a man-made science. So yeah, that's the reason psychics don't tell time for me.
Thank you, Virginia. So we will be going into our final question of our celebrity tidbit with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. So my question for Psychic for Lovers, Pastor Moses, what will be the final outcome of this, or will Johnny Depp win?
So I'm looking to see if Johnny Depp's going to win. Well, I can tell you one thing. This trial is hurting him very much. I mean, it feels like it's a very devastating. He feels like he's by himself, all alone. He feels like, that she betrayed him. I can feel a lot of devastation and hurt with this trial, and a lot of things coming out that he didn't want to come out, because he really felt like he did for him. Something coming out that he didn't even know. So when I look at if he's going to win, it does feel like it will go in his favor, but I'm having a hard time feeling victory with this. I feel like it goes into his favor. So I want to say yes, but I'm not feeling total victory. I don't know enough about the trial to say that. I mean, to really answer it the way, but it just feels like he will come up on top, but it won't be total victory. Okay? That's how it feels. Maybe they don't give him all the money. Maybe, you know what I mean? I just don't feel total victory, but yes, I feel like there is some win with it.
Thank you, Pastor Moses. Janet, will Johnny Depp win this case?
Yes. But you know what? Nobody ever wins. What they do is say, we'll come to an agreement on this, or you come to agreement on that, and then she gets this, and she gets that. All I can tell you is she'll get more than she deserves. But she's not going to, she's not going to really hurt him ultimately. But she's the one that's going to be suffering more. He'll suffer for a while, but then he will. So there's no real winner here, but he actually will win. She won't win for all her lies. The world isn't that stupid.
Thank you, Janet. And Virginia, this question is for you. Will Johnny Depp win?
I think he will win. I think that it's going to be by the jury, and I think that the jury is so disgusted by, like Janet said, the lies. Because now a jury has to pick, and I definitely think that he will win. But like the other two ladies said, you know, what is winning and really what is losing. And it's very emotional. And I do think, though, he will win. I definitely feel that he will win his career back. And that's a big one, because that's what she destroyed on him. And mainly coming forward and exposing his whole life will definitely gain his career back in time. So that for him is a win. And I don't know, could she really give him $50 million? Because that's what he's suing for. We'll see. But I think he will win the case as a whole. I think the jurors will vote in his favor.
Yeah, you know what? That's interesting that you said that, because I'm feeling a win, but not a total victory.
Yes.
Did she really get $50 million? She might not have $50 million, so he can't really collect. So that might be it, when I'm feeling like, yeah, it's a win, but it doesn't feel like he's going to get everything, you know?
Absolutely.
So that makes a lot of sense. Thank you. I'm so glad you're so insightful when it comes to this, because now we don't feel like we're stabbed in the dark, you know, me and Janet.
Yes.
You know? So I really do.
Pastor Moses, do you have any final takeaways?
Wait, one more thing. Johnny Depp have his Saturn return, and he has Jupiter in Aries. So that is in his favor to win this trial. Astrologically speaking, also, he's getting his Jupiter return. He has Jupiter in Aries and Saturn in Aries. And so that's in his favor for this year.
Okay, thank you. We're going to wrap it up. And I just got a thing from Tina. She gave us like 3 hearts. Like she loved this right now, what's going on. So thank you, Tina. We appreciate you. So we're wrapping it up. But again, thank you for joining your Psychic Tarot friends every Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be live discussing different topics. Also, we have celebrity tidbits, so we'll see what the celebrity of the week and what's going on with them. We'll discuss that. We have the lovely Janet Brennan on, who has done over 100 live TV shows. She has a really great resume. She's a phenomenal psychic. If you want to reach her for a reading, it's Brooklyn, BKLYN, Jim, GYM, 123 at gmail.com. Okay, so we doing the 123, right, Amanda? Is that correct?
Yes.
So Brooklyn, BKLYN, GYM 123 at gmail.com, and you can get a reading from her. Very experienced. We also have myself, Psychic for Lovers. It's Psychic 4FOR Lovers. You can reach me. I have a website, so just Google that. I have Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. It'll be great to join my YouTube channel, Psychic for Lovers. Subscribe there. I do astrology with tarot readings. And also we have the wonderful, lovely Virginia. And Virginia, she's been doing readings for 35 plus years. She's a medium. She's clairsentient. She's clairvoyant. She has all these gifts, and you can get a reading from her. And Virginia, can you tell them your email so they can get a reading from you?
Sure, GINIA1@hotmail.com. Again, GINIA1@hotmail.com.
Great, guys. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate that. You'll have a blessed day. Everybody say bye.
Bye.